Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now getting closer to the end of March of 2023, and with The Mandalorian Season 3, Chapter 20 now officially out on Disney Plus, that was directed by Carl Weathers, a lot of fans are really wondering about Chapter 21 and where the second half of Mando Season 3 is really going to go by John and Dave. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future Star Wars updates. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, given that Bob Iger has been speaking directly to the community for a quite number of weeks now, really kind of providing fans exactly what his goals are, what his ambitions are for the franchise, not just with Star Wars, but also with Marvel. They're really trying to balance things out, right? This is why Bob Iger said that right now it's all about putting out quality products and focusing more so on that. Now, we know that everything related between Bob Iger and the executives, the higher-ups, the board members, whatever have you, there's been a big shake-up between himself and them, and it's been ongoing for a couple of months now. In fact, the executives want him out of Disney by next year in 2024, so there's a lot of things happening. Let's just leave it at that. Now, one thing that Bob Iger had to say has a lot to do with Star Wars films and exactly what they are doing to fine-tune or to right-size their overall slate of Star Wars movies and exactly what they are about to do, what they're also about to announce this year, and really bring, of course, forward to the fans. Now, we know that Bob Iger is all about creating a mapped-out plan, which right now they do have. They have been working on this for a very long time, and so what Bob Iger recently had to say, I think is going to really surprise a couple of fans out there of how it comes out of left field. Now, with many new Star Wars projects in the works, creators John and Dave are getting ready to develop new Star Wars projects that will be announced later this year. Now, it's noted, however, that recently Bob Iger made a very big decision recently behind the scenes. When he was questioned about Star Wars films returning, he went on to state the following to fans. So we have thought this through very carefully about bringing Star Wars back to the cinema, and if we are going to bring it back, we must be very careful and make sure that these films are going to really appeal to our audience. We recently went over our slate of films that we have had in the works for a very long time for the Star Wars universe. Now, and of course, we have made a very tough decision to move on from those projects and are focusing on more quality-driven projects that will relate to the dedicated fans more. It was a tough call to make on my part by canceling plans that we have had for all these years for these projects, for the last couple of years, but we are now focusing on newer and more quality-driven movies that we believe will resonate with the fan base better. It's all about improving our full slate of projects now, and in order to do so, and to do such a thing, we had to cancel quite a number of those films that we greenlit 1.5 years ago to 2 years. Now, let me just stop here quick about what Bob Iger is putting out. Now, most certainly, he's most likely alluding to a lot of those one-off films that we've been talking about that have not been really going through well. We know that Patty Jenkins' movie was shelved for the most part. We also know that Kevin Feige's movie is done. Taika Waititi's movie is not looking good either. And David Lindelof actually stepped down from the 2025 Star Wars movie. These, by the way, guys, are all one-off films. And these are the ones that are not really going well right now. On top of that, there were more one-off movies, apart from those, that also got canceled. And Bob Iger's bringing that all ahead to the fans. Now, we've been talking about this behind the scenes, of course, of what's been going on over at Disney, and how they are crafting an Old Republic trilogy, as well as a Mandalorian trilogy. Basically, the Mandalorian trilogy is going to be a new sequel trilogy, so to speak, that's going to be all post-Return of the Jedi content, bringing all those characters that you saw in the Mandoverse onto the big screen. So that's another big plan right now by Disney, and Bob Iger kind of hints towards that in just a second. The thing that I like about this is that they are finally beginning to realize what resonates with fans and what does not resonate with fans. As Bob Iger said, they are now looking to make projects that truly resonate with the fan base that really supported the franchise for all these decades. So, at the end of the day, it really is all about just making a very good quality Star Wars project, right? That's all that really matters. We just want good writing, a good story, something that is going to be very much connected to George Lucas's vision, and if you have all of that, it works, you know, it just works. You have to have that Star Wars magic thrown in there. And Bob Iger is really trying to create his own legacy. That's why he's really trying to leave a footprint behind, because he doesn't plan on staying over at Disney for long. In fact, he wants to actually leave Disney by 2024 before the executives get to him and fire him beforehand. So it's a lot of, you know, a tug-of-war situation, so to speak. Anyways, he goes on to elaborate, I think fans are going to be very happy with our soon-to-be-announced projects that we'll be revealing, of course, to the world by the end of this year in order to bring Star Wars back to the big screen properly and to also provide the best product to fans as we can. It's about giving fans what they want and what they are expecting, and what we were previously doing with our other creators just wasn't going to work well for fans. I feel myself and others here at Disney made the right call to go ahead through with all of this to fulfill the right stories for fans. Apart from what Iger stated here, however, alright, this all alludes to the Old Republic films getting greenlit behind the scenes, as well as the Mandalorian trilogy that will serve as a new sequel trilogy. Now, they are fine-tuning. They are basically really fine-tuning the slate of the movies and just the entire roadmap. And Disney right now knows that they have to step up their A-game when it comes to Star Wars. They have to absolutely go beyond what they ever done before. You know, something even better than the sequels and something even better than Rogue One. They have to make sure that whatever they make now is going to be extremely, you know, amazing to the fans, because a lot of fans are fatigued by what they did with the Obi-Wan series, with the Book of Boba Fett, all these different projects. And so, a lot of this is going to be announced later this year. This is most likely for that November earnings call, without a doubt, similar to what they did with the Rian Johnson trilogy back in November of 2017, I believe it was, right before The Last Jedi released. So it's probably going to be a similar, you know, strategy by Bob Iger, where he announces it right around that earnings call, or even during it. It could easily be during the earnings call. Without a doubt, it could easily be. So anyways, given that Bob Iger is really putting it out there that he really wants to cater to the fans that have supported it for all these years, and to really kind of just make sure that he focuses on good products and good stories only, it goes to show you that they are fully aware about all the wrongs that they did with this franchise and about all the mistakes that they made, and they are really trying to move on from all of that. So anyways, with that being put out there and said, we know that Kathleen Kennedy is still facing her firing by this August. Disney and the Disney executives want her out some months after the Dial of Destiny, so that's also, you know, pretty much moving forward as well. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, fill me in below in the comments what you all have to say about this, and if you guys also would like to fill me in below what you guys think about Bob Iger, please let me know about all of that, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.